I'd like to call to order the Senate Standing Committee on Finance. It is Friday, June 17th at about 5 minutes to 4 p.m. And I'm Senator Catherine Young, the chair. And we are holding a special meeting to confirm or to put forward the nomination of Robert J. Duffy as trustee of the State University of New York Board of Trustees. We'd like to say hello and thank you to the governor for, and now in the private sector, for joining us today via teleconference, video conference. And you know, he's putting his name forward, the governor's putting his name forward for a very important position that many senators care about and people care about all across New York. So we truly appreciate your willingness to appear in this manner.
Senator Reagan, if I could,
yes,
I'll make redundant in the last meeting. I just want to thank the members of the Finance Committee for your flexibility. I received notice yesterday about coming to Albany, and I explained to the Higher Ed Committee I had a series of commitments, including a large delegation from Beijing, China, that I could not leave. And I want to say I respect this process. I respect the need to be there. I apologize for not being there, and I really want to say thank you for making this accommodation on what I know is just a very crazy, busy day for all of you.
Thank you, Governor. Appreciate it. So let's begin. I know some of the members may have some questions for you. Would you like to begin, Senator Krueger?
Thank you. Hi, Governor. I just sat in on your Higher Ed Committee meeting as well, since I'm on that committee. I just want to perhaps clarify a question that I believe was asked. So given your current job and the involvement in so many businesses in Rochester and your history of working in economic development issues when you were originally connected, what, if any, overlap or potential conflict do you see between being a SUNY board member and the other roles you would play? For example, there are startup New York projects potentially in many SUNY campuses I actually don't know right now, but how would you describe what you might see popping up as issues between a SUNY board and any of these companies?
So that's a great question. I don't foresee any now that I can think of where I would be in conflict with what I would do. Any decision that would somehow put me in the middle between a private sector company, a member of our chamber, and a SUNY system, I would have to either recuse myself immediately from or seek counsel on that. I have a very good compass and barometer for conflicts. I would ensure that as a SUNY board member, if I'm approved, I serve that board. And in that capacity, the decisions that I make will be in the best interest of the SUNY system. If there were ever a conflict that did arise, as I said, I would seek counsel and recuse myself. The start of New York, I mentioned in the previous committee, I did spend quite a bit of time in my past role as Lieutenant Governor going around the state talking about the program. I've never been intimately involved in signing somebody up or the specifics of the program. I've spoken to at least 2 companies locally in Rochester that were startup companies. I do not believe they were members of the Chamber of Commerce, but they talked about the program. But I had said in the previous committee, what I would like to do, if I'm approved by the Senate, is to come to Albany and sit with whoever the appropriate person or persons would be to go through a menu of potential conflicts, or maybe things that I might not be aware of. I could have on my radar screen to be prepared for that if I step into that role.
Thank you. My follow-up question. You explained before that you have a lobbying rule that applies to you for 2 years with the executive chamber. So you are the Rochester Chamber of Commerce, is that correct? Is that the title?
Yes, Senator. This is of the Greater Rochester Chamber of Commerce.
Thank you. Greater Rochester Chamber. Is that a lobbying arm on behalf of its member businesses, and would potentially those businesses be hoping to do business with SUNY?
I'm not a lobbyist. My predecessor was not a lobbyist. The role of the chamber, or for the most part, is advocating for members. So in many ways, it may be regulatory, tax issues, things like that, which, workers' compensation, things that come up through the normal course of business. I'm not aware of any conflicts. There are many SUNY schools that are members of the chamber. Monroe Community College is a member. SUNY Brockport is a member. SUNY Geneseo is a member. So we advocate for them, and we we look for ways to assist and help them. But if I would certainly, in this role here, I would want to better understand any situation that would put me in conflict with either side. I don't foresee that now, but I would certainly want to be very diligent in understanding what areas could be problematic and ensure that I never enter those areas or I recuse myself or stay away or seek counsel.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Senator Krueger. Anyone else? Senator Nozzolio.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Governor, great to see you again. Bob, it's been a privilege to work with you for the last couple of decades in your role as a police chief, mayor, lieutenant governor, and head of the Rochester Business Alliance. Thank you for your service in all those endeavors, and you've always been great to work with.
Thank you, Senator.
They're talking about conflicts. There's one thing that you're not going to be conflicted with, and that's the bully pulpit for advocating for the SUNY system generally and specifically the system in our region. And you mentioned some of the schools, but I just want to point your compass to the statutory divisions at Cornell. That certainly that university, as you know, you've been there many times, worked with former President Skorton as the economic development regional head, but we still have a lot of untapped resources. I just want to point out, since you've been on the Business Alliance, just recently we saw set up at the Geneva campus at Cornell a Institute for Food Safety. And that's something that I think will have certainly regional, if not state and national implications. And again, being one of those gems in the SUNY system that can only be helped by shining a better light on it. And you're the perfect advocate to do that. And so I just want to point that out and wish you well. You're extremely well qualified for this position. And being able to work with you continually, maybe not in the capacity I have it now, but in the future, certainly I look forward to.
Thank you, Senator, very much. I know you cited a couple of examples. Cornell, the SUNY side of Cornell, speaking of other schools that really impact agriculture, food safety, and I know for a fact from being a lifelong upstater, the agricultural community, the wine industry depends so heavily on Cornell and other SUNY schools. SUNY ESF at Syracuse University, at Graduate Syracuse, I know the impact they have on our environment. And I have to say this, I traveled, I said to the last committee, through my experience with the governor, with the regional councils, I think I've been on just about, not every campus, almost every SUNY campus in the state. They are huge economic drivers. They create so much vitality in terms of jobs, but also the graduates. They are, I think it's the best public higher ed system in the country, bar none. It is, and I will do my best to wherever I can, hopefully in my role, to keep it going along and so on. It's a tremendous system, and we need it for the future.
Thank you, and best wishes in this endeavor.
Thank you, Senator.
Thank you, Senator. Same to you, sir.
Thank you, Senator. Senator Ransom-Hoffer.
Governor, great to see you again. And I know that when you started off, you apologized for not being able to travel today. And I know it's not because you have an aversion to travel, because I think you are the one single individual in the 4 years that you served as Lieutenant Governor who probably traveled more than anybody else in the entire state. Not only going to every SUNY campus, but you were just everywhere. And I know that if you could have been here today, you would have. So no apologies needed. I did want to point your direction. I know that Senator Nozzolio pointed you in a slightly southerly, easterly direction towards Cornell, but in a more global sense, as you said, we have the best university system. And one of the things that is great about it is its affordability. I actually graduated from 2 SUNY universities. The last one many years ago was Buffalo Law School. And one of the things that's great about our SUNY system, and particularly with respect to the law school, it's actually a school that people can afford, without going into debt into the 6-figure region. So hopefully, you'll keep that in mind, once you are confirmed. And again, I'm very comforted by your realization and your sensitivity to the fact that while nothing is expected to come up as a conflict, your willingness to seek counsel and to be very above board and very upfront about anything that you might need to consult to see if that's going to be a problem. But I just hope, and I know for a fact that you will devote the same energies that you do currently to the RBA, and that obviously when we work together when you were Lieutenant Governor, the energy that you had in both, as I said, RBA and Lieutenant Governor was just fantastic, and I think the board would be well served by your energy and by your experience. So I look forward to voting yes on this committee and then again on the floor. So thank you for taking the time.
Senator, thank you very much, Senator. I think add that the affordability issue. Being the father of 2 kids who are out of college now, I understand the impact of the college education. The SUNY system is outstanding. It is affordable. We need to make sure that our children don't graduate with high degrees of debt. That's settling in the future. I support that. I think we have to look for ways to make sure we keep it affordable. And I mentioned to the previous committee, one of the passions I have, I represent about 1,500 businesses now in the Finger Lakes region. And making connections with companies in our region across the state where these young men looking get ready to graduate, we try and create relationships where they have a job to go to that state. They don't leave our state. We export talent every year, and I would love to look for ways, creative ways, so we can find pathways for our SUNY graduates to stay in New York State.
Appreciate that. Great. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Governor, I just wanted to make a couple of comments and actually ask some questions about some of our smaller campuses. As you know my district very well. I represent Chautauqua, Kitterawah, Allegheny, and part of Livingston counties. And I'm very fortunate because I have, actually 2 SUNY campuses. That would be SUNY Alfred, SUNY Fredonia in my district. We also have a state school at Alfred University with the Ceramics College. Then I'm right on the edge with Senator Gallivan for SUNY Geneseo, so been very involved in SUNY over the years. One of the things that I would implore you to take a look at as a trustee, board member, is the fact that, and we want all that, we want a lot of attention on the larger hubs, such as, for example, University of Buffalo, and I have Senator Ransom-Hofer right next to me. But also giving a lot of attention and marketing and resources to some of the smaller campuses, such as Alfred and Fredonia. Unfortunately, over the last 10 years, enrollment has dropped about 25%. And the colleges on the borders, such as Alfred, Fredonia, up north near Canada, Potsdam, for example, are struggling with competition from out of state. And there's heavy marketing from, for example, Pennsylvania in my area, to actually lure away students that traditionally would have gone to Fredonia or Alfred State, and instead are going down into Pennsylvania. We passed legislation in the Senate to address that issue because we want to give not the same rate as an in-state resident in SUNY, but a reduced rate to out-of-state residents to attract them so we can compete. We've passed the bill. The Assembly, unfortunately, isn't budging on it so far. But I do want to draw your attention to that because the SUNY campuses are so important. They're economic drivers, as you know, but on top of it, so many students from my region have been able to benefit from the great education at SUNY over the years, and I'm afraid that if these campuses get into a much deeper situation where enrollment continues to decline, that it will be a major problem and we will not have those resources in the future. So I'm imploring you to take a look at that issue because it really is significant and would be devastating if we lost any of our SUNY campuses.
So that's a great point, and I certainly would fully support that. And not only trying to keep the campuses strong with enrollment, but I know in terms of economic development opportunities, I've been 2 of the campuses you mentioned. I've actually been, and they're looking to be more actively involved with sprouting incubators and creating small businesses and jobs in those areas, which I think are important. I have a process question. I'm not sure if this is, I'm certainly not confirmed or on board, but I would think the Board of Trustees at some point would come back to the Senate Higher Ed Committee, the Finance Committee, and seek input or feedback from time to time because you represent everybody across the state. I'm not sure if that's done, but I would have a great degree of comfort coming in and asking questions because you may hear or see things through your constituents that maybe people on the board might not hear directly, and any way that we can help improve the process, I would commit myself to do that.
Thank you so much, Governor. I really appreciate appreciate it. Anybody else? We're all set?
I'd like to move the nomination.
So Senator Lavelle moves the nomination. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, Senator Galvin, Senator Breslin, Senator Stavisky, Senator Mazzolio, Senator Ransnapper, Senator Seward, Senator Young, Senator Martin, Senator Squadron. It's just about unanimous, Governor. So I think you're in good stead. I think that your chances are pretty good on the floor.
I want to thank you all for your flexibility and for doing this. Really, I felt bad. I did not want to see this sign of disrespect not being here in person. I just couldn't. But I appreciate it so much of all the craziness you're going through on the last minute session. Taking time out of your schedules for this. So I thank you all for your support. I look for any way about to confirm that I can connect with this and make sure that I hear very clearly your concerns, that I can help make that board stronger. I think a little better connection to our elected leaders as well as our constituents.
Thank you so much, Governor. Thank you. Take care. Good luck with all the projects you're working on. And
Great.
I'm sure I'll see you when I'm in Rochester. So thank you.
Thank you all. Great weekend. Thank you.
That concludes the meeting of the Senate Finance Committee meeting. Oh, I'm sorry. Wait.